It's been about 2 months since Jungle Inferno, and I think it's been long enough where we can take a step back and look at some of the weapons that still need balancing. So we're going to take this class by class, and for this video I'm going to go with the Scout. And so looking at his primaries, the shortstop has kind of been utter trash since Meet Your Match. They added the shove mechanic and removed the bonus healing, and the shove, it kind of is counterintuitive to what the weapon is supposed to do. The shortstop is supposed to be more of a mid-range rather than close-range option for the Scout. And if they really want to make the shove a core part of the weapon, they need to give it a purpose that synergizes with it. So my idea is kind of a radical one, and that's to give the shortstop the same upside that the reserve shooter has, and have it apply to targets that have been shoved. So it'll mini-crit shoved targets. I think this will be actually work pretty well, because you can kind of either play it with the mid-range aspect of the weapon that it was originally intended to be for, or you could get in there and shove somebody for a lot of burst damage. Or just just buff its reload speed back up how it used to be. That would be good. The Babyface's blaster is in a really sad state. So sad, in fact, I don't own one. And I got two ideas on how to fix it. One is the lazy way, and the other is another radical change. The obvious solution is just to reduce how much boost you lose when you get hit. I think right now it takes 25 damage to lose all of your boost, which is ridiculous. Make that somewhere like 75. I think that would be a little bit better. But my more radical idea is for something that would synergize a bit better with the pocket pistol, a thing it's in a set with. So my idea for the Babyface would be to just give it a flat 25% speed boost while it is active. So while you have the Babyface's blaster out, you run at 158% movement speed, which is about how fast you would move now with 2/3 of your boost meter full. And then you give it a 50% faster holster time to make it easier to pull out your secondary or melee to finish one off, or in the case of the pocket pistol, for that synergy, to pull it out and get some healing. Then you give it a 50% slower deploy just to counter that fast holster. And here's the real kicker. Equipping the Babyface would remove your double jump. That's right. You're stupid fast on the ground, but your aerial mobility is incredibly reduced. Now, you have this, and then you have the Soda Popper. The Soda Popper set would be focused around jumping and aerial combat, whereas the Babyface would be your ground mobility. And here's the backscatter. It's the last primary I want to talk about. It's really close to being really good. What really kills it is this 20% less accuracy. That, if you get rid of that, that makes it a little bit more effective from a little bit farther behind people, so that way you don't have to get right up behind them, whereas at that point you might as well play Spy. And I would say maybe increase its mini-crit damage a little bit. Right now the pellets do 8 to 14 mini-crit damage, depending on how far away you are. I would say bump that up to a maximum of 15 per pellet. That way the most damage you can do if you got right up on somebody would be 150. That way you could one-shot medics and two-shot heavies without, having to three-shot and two-shot. Like, it would make it a lot better to be able to do that. It wouldn't really affect too much else, and you'd have to get right up on them and hit every single pellet. But I feel like that is a utility for that. Would be good. The only secondary I'd really like to talk about is the Winger. I feel like I love what it does with the jump height. I think that's great. It works really well with the Soda Popper. But come on, the clip size, does it really need to be that low? Would having it be 33% and having 8 shots be the end of the world? Just that way it could actually finish people off. I think that would be good. And that's really the only secondary I think that needs balance. I think everything else at this point is pretty good. Maybe the pocket pistol's a little too good. Maybe you could use them on some other kind of penalty. Maybe lower that clip size a little bit more. Maybe 33. Because that's a lot for just 3 less shots. And then melees, there's a lot to talk about, I think. we're gonna start with the Sun on a Stick. There's no secret. It's really bad. I think it needs to be able to ignite burning targets. That way you don't need to worry about, not ignite burning targets, listen to me, just ignite targets on hit. That way you're not worried about somebody else's class choice when trying to get the most out of this weapon. And change, so make it to where the first hit ignites an enemy player, and then so that way you can run and hit them once. That's only 26, but they'll light on fire for 2 seconds, so not very long. And then if you hit consecutive shots, they'll be crits, and you could actually get some use out of it. And also, what you could do is maybe instead give the user afterburn immunity while active. So like just taking this out and holding it out would make it to where you don't take afterburn damage. Because the 20% fire damage resistance while deployed doesn't do that much right now. Because what are you going to do, run out of pyro with that? You know, the class that can't be lit on fire? You know, I think it needs to ignite enemy targets on hit. That's my opinion. And then the candy cane. Oh my god, I love the candy cane. The candy cane was the first weapon I ever got as a drop in this game, so I used to use it all the time. It's so close to being such a great utility, but just the explosive vulnerability is crippling. Being one-shot by pipes and rockets, it makes it almost unusable if there's any sort of competent soldier or demo man on the enemy team. So here's how I suggest it gets reworked. Some people might think this would be a little bit overpowered. I don't think so. Make the health kits be team specific, so that way if you kill someone, the enemy can't pick up the health kit and use it. Because that's something that's really annoyed me for a long time. It's bad. Don't do it. Also, change the 25% explosive damage vulnerability downside to a minus 90% healing for medics and dispensers. Same thing that the pickaxes on Soldier give you, except this is all the time, whether it's active or not. And also, this is going to sound like a lot, it's really not. Give it a 40% increase in health from the dropped health packs. Not all health packs, just the ones that come from getting kills with the weapon equipped. 40% sounds like a lot, but all it really does is make it go from 25 health to 35 health. So that's not 10 health, not a huge difference, but it adds up. So if you get 2 kills, getting 70 health back is a lot better than getting 50. I think that could be a lot more useful. And I think that's pretty much it as far as the scout balance goes. I think the fan of war, maybe give it a faster deploy and holster time, so that way you can pull it out quick, mark somebody, and then use your other weapons. But other than that, Sandman, it's weird. Maybe slow enemies a bit more now. But I think it's in a better place. Atomizer's in a better place. Everything else is pretty balanced. So those are my ideas for the Scouts weapon balances. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, any suggestions, any criticism, and that'll be it. You guys have a good one.